guys, welcome to TOBI TV channel. How are they, right? So in today's update, good news everywhere. I'm going to let you guys see all that happened. And this particular update with Donald Trump, having to recognize Biafra as a legal entity and has made the criteria to become a nation. I'm going to let you guys watch this video very right back.
And also exposing every single thing that has happened or happened behind the scenes, so you can understand how Mr. Donald Trump got to realize the movement called USB, and he had to place his own official and presidential stamp, making it a nation, a widely recognized nation all over the world. Yes, this is going to be a very interesting video, and I urge you to watch it up until the very end. So the question here is, how did this happen, and who brought the movement of the USB on the desk of Mr. Donald Trump? Well, let's start from the very first day. On the 16th of November 2024, Mr. Simon released a post on his Twitter page. Showing right now on your screen is this post. It states, "The giants of Washington, D.C. are all joining the government for a good history that is about to happen." And this was released last year. When this whole tweet came to the media space, many individuals did not understand what was playing and what was happening behind the scenes. Yes, this felt like a regular tweet coming from Mr. Simon, but we never knew that these guys were trying to lobby and also present the USB movement in front of the president of the USA. Yes, so Mr. Simon needed to present USB in front of the president of the USA, and he needed someone to do it for him. Yes, he needed someone who has a high profile in the international world, and that is where a man known as Elias Gerasulis came into play. Yes, showing right now on your screen is a brief description of this particular man known as Elias Gerasulis. This man happens to be a professional lobbyist, and he works for a company known as Moran Global Strategies, which happens to be a prominent lobbying firm that was founded by a former congressman in the person of Jim Moran. Yes. So Mr. Simon employed the services of this individual known as Elias Gerasulis so as to present the movement of the USB in front of the official president of the USA. Yes, so Mr. Simon did a lot of negotiating with this individual, and everything, the contracts, the negotiations, and the objectives were clear and stamped, and that is when every single thing came into play. A couple of days later, this man known as Elias Gerasulis met with Ngozi Oronboeze, who currently is the Deputy Prime Minister of the USB movement. Well, if you don't believe me, take a look at this publication showing right now on your screen, and this is coming from Mr. Simon, where it states, "The lobbyist Elias Gerasulis and Chief of Staff Dr. Ngozi Oronboeze at the headquarters of the lobbying firm in Washington, D.C., Moran Global Strategies." Yes, this is the very first day that Ngozi Oronboeze, together with this individual known as Elias, met in person so as to present a lot of documents, a lot of files, and series of portfolio in front of a sitting president in the USA. Interestingly, after this man met with Ngozi Oronboeze, he immediately met with a series of individuals domiciled in the USB movement. Well, I'll show you right now on your screen is a video captured on that particular day where we can find Mr. Elias having conversations and briefing individuals and leaders in the USB movement. Yes, in this particular meeting, Mr. Elias, together with every other individual seated there, came together, they brought their heads together to devise a means and to draw out a blueprint in gaining the attention of the president of the USA. Yes, this guy wanted to meet and have conversations with the president of America, and they had to do it strategically. Yes, and that is when they opted to go through an organization known as the USA Department of Justice. Yes, showing right now on your screen is a quick description of this particular establishment or government entity domiciled in the USA, which states the United States Department of Justice, also known as the Justice Department, is a federal executive department of the USA government that oversees the domestic enforcement of federal laws and every other matters within. Yes, so this man known as Mr. Elias decided to go through the USA Department of Justice as a means to meet with the president of the USA in the person of Donald Trump. Yes, the plan was very simple and well calculated. A couple of months later, Mr. Elias, together with Ngozi Orabueze, drafted a letter that was sent to the Department of Justice, USA. Well, showing right now on your screen is an official document, an authentic document coming from that government body domiciled in America. As you can clearly see, it states registration statement pursuant in the Foreign Agent Registration Act of 1938 as amended. I want you to take a look at the name of the registrant. It states the USB government. This is actually a fantastic one. Well, that is not even all. Yes, that is not even all. On the 20th of February 2025, Ngozi Orabueze came out to expose one of the biggest news for that particular movement. Well, showing right now on your screen is her post or a tweet coming from her official handle. It states, and I quote, "Breaking, Department of Justice registers and recognizes the USB as a foreign nation with its cabinet members." Yes, we are no longer an agent organization. We are a nation with all the laws protecting a nation. And when you look down below, you will see that same document I just showed to you, together with the seal of the USA Department of Justice. This is a big, big one. So how did this even get to the table or to the desk of Mr. Trump? Well, let me show this to you. Showing right now on your screen is a publication coming from the BBC. It states, "Trump rewards personal lawyers with Justice Department post." Yes, so this is simple. Donald Trump rewarded some of his loyal lawyers in different positions domiciled in that said Justice Department of America. Well, showing right now on your screen is a picture of some of these lawyers. I want you to take a look at the left hand side corner of your screen. We have a man known as Todd Blanche. Yes, this is the same individual who signed the document presented by Ngozi Orabueze and a supporter of Mr. Donald Trump. And it is very possible that he actually seek permission and seek full recognition from the president before that document was actually signed. So what does this actually mean for the USB movement? Yes, so it's one thing that the president of the USA have officially recognized the USB as a nation and as a sovereign state. The other thing is, what are the importance? Why is this even important to the layman on the street? Well, let me show you some of its importance and everything you need to know, because this is a big one. Well, so the very first achievement or the very, very big impact of this recognition is the fact that the USB movement is no longer a group or an organization, yes. And the second importance is the fact that the USB can now operate freely within the coffers and in any space in America. Yes, this is massive. And the third importance is the fact that the USB is now a legal entity in the eyes of the US president and government. Yes, the USB now is now a legal entity, is now a state recognized by America, and these guys are actually very free to hold meetings, to hold protests if that comes into play, to hold campaigns and every other thing within its capabilities. Yes, so the USB is now a legal entity in the eyes of the USA. And the fourth importance is the USB can now seek for financial aid. Yes, so just in case you don't know, this US Department of Justice usually grants aids and grants support to a series of bodies and structures domiciled all across the world. Yes, in total, this US Department of Justice has granted a total of 3.2 billion plus loans and grants to states, local and tribal partners. Yes, so the USB movement can actually seek for funds and seek support and aid from the US Department of Justice, because they have now been recognized and signed as a legal nation operating within the international space. Well, moving on swiftly, the fifth importance is the fact that the USB has its own laws. Yes, the USB can now create and formulate its own written laws. And the sixth importance is USB is now a nation. And this is one of the biggest achievements so far. So as you can see, things will only get interesting from this point moving forward, because the movement has achieved a massive feat. And kudos to Donald Trump, together with his loyal lawyers who signed that proposal into laws. Kudos to these individuals, and we can't wait to see how things unfold in the future. Well, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, I'll urge you to subscribe and turn on post notifications, because we'll give you all of the latest breaking news and verified news coming out in Nigeria and from other parts of the world, and also in the USB movement. So I urge you to subscribe and turn on post notifications as quickly as possible. Anyways, moving on swiftly. In our previous video, we exposed the fact that President Donald Trump recently sent series of messages to the Finnish authorities and to the Finnish government. Yes, Donald Trump has sent a letter stamped and sealed from his office instructing Finland to do just one thing. Anyways, if you want to see the content of that letter and every other thing within, if you want to see what the president of the USA is asking and commanding the government of Finland to do regarding the case of Mr. Simon, we have a video that will expose and showcase every single thing that you need to know and understand. And interestingly, that video is showing right now on your screen. So click on this video to watch and understand. Click on this video and I'll see you on the other side. Major publications, newspaper outlets, and TV channels domiciled in Finland. Yes, as we speak, this man's face is all across the media and all across the news. Why is that so? Well, take a look at this recent update coming from Yale. As we all know, Yale happens to be one of the biggest newspaper outlets and media house domiciled in Finland. So these guys came out recently to give a very, very clear and peculiar update about Mr. Simon. So let's take this news one after the other. Well, shown right now on your screen is the very first briefing from Yale, where it states subsidies for private roads plummeted. It is not even worth starting planning or a road renovation, says an expert. This news publication also went a step further to make more clarifications, where it states many roads are really bad, says the road manager. Interestingly, just in case you don't understand what is currently happening in Finland and what Yale are trying to portray or pass across, well, for better understanding, take a look at this publication. Simon has been influential in local politics in Lahti. He is currently a member appointed by the National Coalition Party on the Lahti Region Public Transport Committee, but he has not recently attended the meeting of the committee for a very long time now. So the question here is, what is happening? Well, some individuals domiciled in Finland came out recently to complain about the poor infrastructure when it comes to transport and easy movement or shipment of goods and services in Finland. Yes, they came out to complain that since after this guy was detained by the Finnish authorities, the citizens have noticed a wide-scale decline when it comes to transport and road network connectivity in Finland. So they're calling for the government to look into this particular problem as soon as possible, or better still, bring back the individual who was in charge of this road transport or road network system in that city in that point in time. Anyways, moving on swiftly, let's look at our second most interesting update that will be discussed here in this video. Just in case you don't know, the current president of the USA, in the person of President Donald J. Trump, made very, very interesting moves and a very, very interesting remark that will definitely change the way and manner international bodies, Finland, Nigeria, and so on and so forth, sees Mr. Simon going on forward. Yes, the president of the USA currently has this man, Simon, in his full administrative book. How did he get to know about Simon, or how did Simon get under his radar? Well, a couple of days back, an individual under the USB, that is to say, an individual under the United States of Biafra, made a trip to Japan to meet with some of its top political party members and some top rulers domiciled in Japan. What's showing right now on your screen is a video taken from that day and time. As you can see, we have this man. This man is known as Mr. Honorable Henry Azubuike, and he met with Japanese political leaders that support the Biafran movement and also support this man known as Simon. In this meeting, a lot of discussions were had and a lot of rulings were made. And in that meeting, Simon's name was mentioned a couple of times. Well, in conclusion, these Japanese politicians who met with Mr. Azubuike came to a conclusion and came or derived to an agreement. Yes, these guys agreed collectively that they will meet the Prime Minister of Japan in the person of Shigeru Ishiba to discuss the rulings of that meeting. That is to say, whatever these people discuss in this closed-door meeting will be presented to the Prime Minister of Japan in the person of Shigeru Ishiba. So the question here is, why is this man even important? Why is the Prime Minister of Japan even needed in this conversation? Or why is even needed to be part of this meeting? Well, for better understanding and for more clarity, take a look at this news publication coming from Japan, where it states, Japan Prime Minister Ishiba eyes US visit for summit with Trump. Yes, just in case you don't understand, the Prime Minister of Japan is scheduled to meet with Trump on the 7th, to meet with Trump this month. Yes, the Prime Minister of Japan will have to travel to the USA, to Washington, D.C., meet with Donald Trump in the White House to have a series of conversations and how to strengthen the relationship between Japan and USA. Well, for better understanding and for more clarity, the After Press, one of the biggest news publications in the world, asked the Prime Minister of Japan in the person of Shigeru Ishiba to explain the main reason why he wants to meet with Trump in person. Well, take a look at this publication and take a look at his answers. He said, Japan's leader says he's preparing for a tough negotiations with Trump on maintaining U.S. presence. As you can see, the AP used the word tough negotiations to explain this guy's meeting, or this guy's potential meeting with Donald Trump in the USA. This is going to be a very, very interesting one, because this guy, the Prime Minister of Japan, in his own words, promised to bring the conversation of Simon in the presence of Donald Trump. And that is not even all. A lot of exciting things has happened behind the scenes regarding Trump and Simon. Well, for better understanding and for more clarity, a couple of days back, the Deputy Prime Minister of Biafra in the person of Ngozi Orabueze traveled to the USA, to Washington, D.C., to hold a very, very important meeting with a politician domiciled in that country. Well, for better understanding and for more clarity, take a look at this publication where it states, breaking, just stepping out from a formal private meeting with those that matters in Washington, D.C. towards our recognition. USB is on the table. We will keep Biafrans posted. Yes, this guy has held a very serious meeting in Washington, D.C., which, as we all know, is the capital city of the USA and also is the official residence and the official workplace of the president in the person of Donald J. Trump. So the question here is, why is Donald Trump so much interested in Simon's case? And why is the Prime Minister of Japan even interested in trying to bring up the conversation of Simon to the president of the greatest and the biggest country of the world? Well, for better understanding and for more clarity, let me explain. Showing right now on your screen is a list of Donald Trump 2024 presidential campaign endorsements. Yes, this is a list released by Wikipedia, which happens to be one of the top websites domiciled in the whole wide world. Yes, so Wikipedia made a very, very interesting revelation and publication a couple of hours back. In that publication, this guy has made a list of individuals who supported or something interesting and something many Nigerian news outlets and media publications are yet to release or are yet to see or notice. Well, showing right now on your screen, it's a listing of some individuals who supported Donald Trump. And if you look closely, you definitely see Mr. Simon, who happens to be the Prime Minister of the Republic in exile from 2003 up until this day and time. And if you look below his name, you definitely see a man known as Viktor Orban, who is the Prime Minister of Hungary. So why is this publication even necessary? Well, as we speak, Donald Trump seems to show, or is trying to reciprocate, the love and support he received during or before his campaign. Yes, as we speak, this man is currently reciprocating the support he received from individuals. That is to say, all the influentials or top figures who use their platform to campaign for him are currently receiving great light from this man. Well, for better understanding and for more clarity, take a look at this publication coming from the NBC.